Hello everyone and welcome back. I know this is a different face today. My name is Celine and I'm an acne expert and esthetician here at Art of Skincare. I know usually it is Gina here on Tuesdays, but unfortunately she's under the weather, so I'm letting her take the day off and I'm taking over. I know that she had mentioned that she was going to be doing a live interview with Pooja from MyoLift, but that is going to be a week from today. So this coming Tuesday of next week, she will be live with Pooja. So today I'm filling in for her and I thought we would talk about one of my favorite brands that we carry, which is Serum Haircare. Serum Haircare is one of those brands that as soon as I discovered it, I got some targeted ads from it. I was like, wow, we need to carry this product. This is such a unique product. For those of you who struggle with acne and breakouts, even eczema, if you have a hard time finding fragrance-free products, you know how difficult it can be to find a product that meets your needs. Even with products that appear to be acne safe, that they don't contain any comedogenic ingredients, they can often still cause problems because of the way that they're formulated. So hair products, specifically leave-in creams, conditioners, and gels, they are formulated to create a film on the hair. A film on the hair that keeps it silky smooth, keeps it from being frizzy, often keeps it from getting frizzy when you go out and hit moisture. It's all of these film formers that sit on the hair and keep it from getting frizzy or out of control. The problem with these films is they get onto your skin and they clog your skin. So even ingredients that might not be on our pore clogging list can be a problem when they're formulated into these formulas that are meant to create a film. It makes our hair look nice, it's all shiny, it's very tamed down, it looks very hydrated from the surface, but really it can cause problems for the skin. So what's different about Serum, it was created by Dr. Iris Rubin, who is a Harvard-trained dermatologist, and she is all about the science. So she has gone to bat for all sorts of different studies on different topics that Serum can address. The first one being acne. So she actually had all these different formulas that she was testing on herself. She would put the formula on her own skin and they would test it to see what kind of film it was keeping, and they would also test it for breakouts. And then once they created the final formulas, then they actually did a full study with participants where they had participants using the Serum shampoo and conditioner, and they saw a great increase in less breakouts and less skin irritation. There's some really amazing before and after pictures from some of those study participants that I highly recommend going to check out on their website under the science behind their studies. They're really, really interesting and informative stuff that they have done. It's really unlike any other hair care program. The only time that you see studies associated with a hair care brand is in those really active ingredient hair products that are for hair loss. So we know those ingredients that contain gosh, I'm actually not very familiar with the ingredients that they use in those, but those different products that have active ingredients to stop hair loss, they have studies, but we've never seen studies for products that claim to not cause any acne on your skin. So that's what makes Serum so unique, is that they have really gone to bat and tested all of these products to make sure that they're actually acne safe. Several years after they launched, they did a more recent study with Harvard, where they actually showed that using Serum shampoo and conditioner decreased hair shedding in the participants by 44%, which is an amazing number. And these are products that don't contain those active clinical ingredients for stopping hair loss. So that was a really amazing study that came out. They found that by not clogging the pore and not having common irritants, they were really able to stop hair shedding. And the study was actually done on women that were experiencing a clinical level of hair loss. So it wasn't just on your average person. So that study is also really amazing. You can also find that on their website as well. But let's dive into these products. As many of you know, they come in scented and they come in fragrance-free. So when you're shopping on our website, you'll see that the scented products are always going to have color on the label. They're always going to have either this pinky tone or this peach tone. If you would like to stick with fragrance-free, it is a simple black and white label. So that makes it really easy to just find what you need and get it. I like to use fragrance-free because I am very prone to dry and itchy scalp. And the fragrance-free is what is recommended if you do have dry and itchy skin. The National Eczema Association actually just gave their seal of approval on all of the fragrance-free products that Serum carries. So that's also a really nice thing about Serum, is that they are really putting themselves out there to get recognized by different associations. So let's jump into the products, and I want to give my best tips on how to use these products. Let's start with shampoo. So with the shampoo, this is the scented version. It's got the peach label. A lot of people say that the shampoo just doesn't clean enough, but you have to use it the right way. Here are my best tips. So you're going to start with, in the shower, get your hair sopping wet. You're going to part it down the middle all the way to the back of your head, if your hair is long enough, and push your hair to the side so that you have your scalp showing all the way down to the back. Then you take about a quarter size amount, maybe a little bit more, into your wet palm, and you want to emulsify it completely before it touches your scalp. That way it is activated and foamy and ready to cleanse your skin, and you're gonna get an even application. You're not gonna get like a glop of unemulsified shampoo sitting in a funny spot. So you're gonna emulsify, it's gonna get all foamy, and then you want to first massage and get it into the scalp. You can also kind of come up and get under here and in the back, avoiding the long lengths of your hair because those don't need to be cleansed that much. So you'll do your first shampoo that way, really getting in there, rinse, and then do it again. This is like double cleansing your face, but for your scalp. This is especially important if you have an oily scalp, if you use a lot of styling products, if you like to shampoo your hair less often. If you're shampooing your hair every single day, you probably don't need to double cleanse it. But what's best for the scalp and the hair health is to shampoo your hair 2 to 3 times a week. I usually do twice a week. And then you're gonna wanna do that double cleanse to really get your hair and scalp clean. So do that double cleanse. The second time, again, you're gonna really emulsify it into your hair, work it into just the scalp. If you do tend to get product buildup in the ends of your hair, maybe you have very curly, very dry hair and you just need the product in there, then do that second cleanse. You can bring it down to the ends to get that out of there. But I wouldn't double cleanse your ends. It's gonna make them more dry. That's my tip for the shampoo. For the conditioner, we have 2 conditioner options. This is my own personal deeper conditioner. I just got it from my bathroom upstairs. And then we have the fragranced regular conditioner. So what is the big difference between these? So I have drier curly hair, and I like both of these for different things. I thought that I would just use deeper conditioner. As soon as it came out, I was like, oh, that'll just be my normal conditioner. I'll use that every time I shower. But it is very, very conditioning. This will actually kind of weigh my hair down if I use it too much, interestingly enough. I think that if you had even thicker, coarser hair than me, then you would like this as your everyday use. But I like it more as maybe once a week, maybe every 2 weeks, as just a really nice, deep moisturizing treatment. And then on all the other days, I just use the regular conditioner because it gives me the moisture I need, but it doesn't weigh my curls down. My best tips for both of these conditioners is to warm it up in your hands first. So after you've shampooed, you'll put your conditioner in your hands and just get it nice and warm. You're warming up those oils, and it's really gonna help it penetrate into your hair much better. If you have curly hair, you can even do the squish to condition method. If you've never heard of that, it's when you have conditioner in your hair, you flip your head over and you squish that conditioner into your hair. You'll hear like the squishing, and that's really pushing that moisture into your hair. That's what I like to do in the shower. Other than that, I would say unless you have a very, very, very dry scalp, you don't need to put conditioner on your scalp. I would just do this mid-length to the ends. Then, let's see, what should we do next? Let's go into the Travel Trio real quick. So for some of you who maybe haven't tried this before and you want to try it out, or maybe you don't know if you're gonna like the fragrance, then I highly recommend getting the Travel Trio to start. This has the scented shampoo. There's also a fragrance-free Travel Trio, but I'll tell you why I recommend the fragrance one. So you have your shampoo, you have your regular conditioner, and then you have the Blowout cream. So why I always recommend people, unless you know for sure you don't want any fragrance in your hair care, I recommend people get the fragranced Travel Trio to try it out, because then you'll just know if you like the fragrance or not. You'll know if you don't like the fragrance, then just get the fragrance free. And then if you like the fragrance, you know you like it. So this is a really great set. This is a lot of product. I feel like this could last you if you were traveling for like over a month, unless you needed to use a lot of conditioner because you have a lot of hair. This is a very generous little travel trio. It has the Blowout cream, which I actually like the Blowout cream for my curls. The biggest difference between the Blowout cream and the curly cream is moisturizing and hold. So I actually find that the Blowout cream is less moisturizing than curly cream, and therefore it gives a little bit more hold. And then the curly cream is more moisturizing, so it gives the hair a little more softness. So a lot of people like to use the curly cream with a little bit of the Magic Serum mixed in, which we'll dive into soon. The Magic Serum is a very lightweight oil that is made from Squalane. Squalane is very similar to our own sebum that comes out of our scalps. So it's like moisturizing our hair with what it knows already. So it works very well. So you can add a drop or two of this right into your curly cream or into the Blowout cream. A lot of people like to use a gel on top of the curly cream. I have yet to find a gel that doesn't give me breakouts. I am super sensitive to breakouts around my hairline because I have so much hair, it needs so much product, and it really sits on my skin. Even hair gels that say that have non-comedogenic ingredients, there's not a single pore clogging ingredient in the deck, but because it's a gel, it is formulated to create a film, and that's just gonna sit on the skin, and it results in breakouts. So it's kind of a bummer for me, but I'm hoping that Celine is going to come out with a gel. I just know that it's a very tricky thing to formulate, so we'll see if they're able to pull that off. With the curly cream, I find you need a lot of it. It's kind of a bummer to say that because it sucks to have to use a ton of a product, but if you have very dry curly hair, you kind of have to be generous with curly cream. So if it's not working the first time you use it, try using a little more. What I'll often do if my hair is super dry is I will leave a little bit of the conditioner in my hair when I rinse it out in the shower. So just kind of do like a half rinse. I can still kind of feel like there's a little bit of conditioner in my ends, and I'll stop rinsing at that point and then follow with my curly cream out of the shower. And that will also give me the moisturizing that I need and a little bit more hold because I can't use gels. So those are some of my styling tricks. Let's jump into their newest product that is really near and dear to my heart. Like I said earlier, I do have a very itchy, dry scalp. My coworker Lauren, that many of you have seen on here, also has a very itchy, dry scalp. So we are constantly bemoaning together just, oh, my scalp, it's itchy, nothing works on it. So a couple weeks ago, we had the opportunity to finally order in the Restore Scalp Serum. This is a fragrance-free scalp serum that is specifically for dry and itchy scalps. It actually has probiotics in here that help balance the natural biome. It has glycerin and bisabolol, which are amazing for hydrating the scalp. This is so, so lovely. The nice thing about this, unlike a lot of scalp serums out there, this does not leave a residue at your scalp and make it feel oily and gross. You can put this in like 3 days in a row without shampooing, and it won't look like you have a ton of product in your hair. By the third day, you might kind of feel like, okay, it feels like it has some product in the scalp area, but it doesn't look like it. And it really works. This really relieves that dry, itchy scalp. Lauren, it took about 3 days of use. I noticed a difference the next day. I felt like I finally had some relief from the really itchy dryness that I get on the back of my scalp. So this is really amazing if you are suffering from that. This is not a hair growth serum, just as a disclaimer. It is just for soothing that scalp. Let's see, we didn't really talk too much about Magic Serum. Maybe I'll put some Magic Serum in my hair right now. So Magic Serum, like I said, is Squalane, which is this really amazing formula of squalane that mimics the scalp's own natural sebum that our hair loves, but it often doesn't get down to the ends of our hair. That's why often the hair at the top of our head looks more healthy and happy, and at the end it's all dry. So I love to brush this through my ends. In the morning, I'll put this all over and then run a brush through it. I wouldn't brush my hair right now because it would get very poofy, But I'm just gonna put this on my ends where I get really dry and frizzy. And I love this. Right now it only comes in fragrance free, but it might be coming out a fragrance in it. They've kind of hinted, but I don't know that for sure. But that would be nice if you could add like a little bit of scent at the ends of your hair with an oil. I love that. It just makes your hair so silky soft. And I know I mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. A drop or two of Magic Serum in with curly cream. Really great. I absolutely recommend this. Another tip I want to throw in is if you have curly hair and you want to refresh your hair between shampoos, you can put a tiny bit of the curly cream in a spray water bottle with water and shake it up and mix it, and that makes a really great refreshing spray for curls. Okay, do we have any questions, Ben?
No questions.
No questions? I know it's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to give you guys the full down low on scene products. I'm trying to think if I forgot to mention anything for you, but I think that's everything. Yeah, I think we've covered it. Okay. All right, thank you everyone. I'll be back on Thursday for my normal acne chat. I do recommend tuning in tomorrow. Lauren is interviewing our amazing rep from IS Clinical, Allison, and they're going to be talking about the amazing antioxidants that are in IS Clinical's products. They are so unique and so powerful, and they're one of the reasons that we love IS Clinical products so much. So I highly recommend tuning in tomorrow for that.